Welcome, y'all. It's chilly. I got the heater on, this little fireplace. I hope you guys can hear me. It kicks on and then it kicks off. I've got my magical cape here. Welcome, everybody. So we are going to be starting our makeup series as promised. So I'll let everybody get in and get situated. This is going to be a part one because your girl has a lot of palettes. Man, as I've been looking at my makeup, I'm like, wow. So this will be part one of the palettes, and then we have part two. I got this cool little suitcase. It's got like wheels, so I'll show you that. It's cool in itself. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, y'all. Let me make sure I get the chat on all. Okay, all messages. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. If you get bored, go check out the community tab, and it shows what I'm drinking. So I'll let everybody get in and get situated. Welcome, great to see you. Welcome, everyone. Hope everyone's staying warm out here. Great to see everyone. So, like I said, the community tab, I'm drinking peppermint oat latte with Starbucks cake pop creamer and butterbeer cold foam. But it's kind of, yeah, there's a Harry Potter series out. They have butterbeer cold foam, and then they have butterbeer creamer. So I was going to show you all the creamer, and I let my grandma have the rest of it. I should have took a quick pic, but I got that at the Walmart, the butterbeer creamer and the cold foam. Welcome, y'all. Great to see everyone. If you see me talking weird, I got root canal, so we're good to go with that. So the right side is trucking on. Now we're on to the left side. So we got a ways to go. I got one fix down here, and I got this fix, so my mouth is still kind of sore. So if you see me kind of struggling, that's what it is. All right, y'all. Let me make sure I can see all messages. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. So if you're just coming in, like I said, we've got part two to the eyeshadows, and then we're just going to trickle, like I have train cases, and we'll probably do it that way. We have like a train case, so we'll go like, I don't want to go like lipstick to eyeliner. That's going to be bored. So we'll do train case by train case. So welcome, everybody. Great to see you. Great to see everybody. Let me take a swig and we'll get right into it. My drink combination's kind of weird because kind of what I was working with. I'm like, do I crack open an energy drink? Do I not? And I was like, no. Finish up your peppermint latte. So if you're new to the channel or just kind of getting caught up on things, I know I'm coming back at you. Our bulletin board is the community tab. Kind of shows pictures, things that I'm eating, snacks, drinks, little clips of my dogs, and kind of when we're going live. So, all right, y'all, let's get into it. So, we're going to get each palette out. Like I said, this is just part one, and let's get started. I do apologize. Welcome, Philip. Thank you. Thank you. I have a scary story for you at the end of this, Philip. Believe it or not, I have, oh, I don't want to, I have a weird story to tell y'all. I have a really weird story to tell y'all. Actually, do you want me to tell you, put thumbs up in the chat if you want me to tell now, or wait till the end? I have a weird story for y'all. I was going to tell y'all anyway, so it's kind of scary and kind of mystical, all in the same thing. Well, let me go ahead and tell y'all now. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, by the way. Always appreciated. Okay, listen to this. This is wild. This will give everybody time to get in, and then we can get started. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do a recap after this, but it's going to be a different live. Listen to this right quick. So I'm going outside the other day. What was it? Actually, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I was trying to think it was yesterday or the day before. So I'm going outside, and I literally just look at the driveway, and something catches my eye. And it literally catches, like, eye to eye. Like, I know this is going to sound so weird and so far-fetched, but I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel with this story. So something meets with me eye to eye. And all of a sudden, I look, and I'm like, is that a wolf? So there was a coyote or a wolf in the driveway. So it's just literally sitting there, all literally majestic, and it just locks eyes with me. It doesn't blink. It seemed like time just stopped for a minute. Like it was probably 20 seconds, but it just seemed like the world froze. And we're locking eyes. And all of a sudden it connects to me like, this is not a dog. I mean, it's a wolf or a coyote or something, but this isn't just a dog. So, I don't know, you guys. It was so weird and like majestic at the same time. Like it just connected eyes with me, and it was like the world just froze for a second. And then, like I said, like my flight or fight kicked in, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not a dog. So, take with that what you will. Like, I don't know why it just seemed very like strange and eerie, but in a good way. Like I wasn't scared. It was like time just froze. So I don't know. Take with that if you will. Let me grab a tissue. Oh, I apologize. It is freezing. So if you hear like a ying, I got the little fireplace on back here. Let me grab a tissue for 2 seconds. Actually, yeah, let me grab a tissue, then I can use hand sanitizer. My bad. I don't want to be digging in these pallets and then wiping my nose. I'm sorry, yo. But isn't that weird? It was just like a majestic, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just like its eyes locked, like it didn't move, it didn't blink. Like, it was such a strange encounter. So then off it ran, and off in the woods it went. And that was that. I was like, okay. I'm coming, y'all, my bad. My nose has been running all freaking night. Yeah, my nose has just been running and running. I'm like, good, stars above. All right, y'all, let's get right into it. So, welcome, everybody. Great to see everyone. I hope you're doing good. I just got a pair of, these are like my house socks. They were my mom's. They're pretty beat up, but they're cozy. So, I've got a pair of those pants on that I took back from the Walmart. They're like the pocket ones I showed y'all. And then I just got on, you know me, I love a good old-fashioned undershirt. Yeah, Hannah, I was like, my drink combo is interesting. So, all right, y'all. So, like I said, sorry, I'm kind of trying to hang in there, but my nose. So, got the root canal, got to move to the other side, so the right side is good. So, all right, y'all, let's get into it. So, first off, I wanted to say that I am digging this. Check out my Christmas haul if you haven't. Again, this came from Target. It's called The Finery. They do have body sprays. Y'all, I am loving this. I put on a little bit after I got at the shower, and I was like, I'm not even going anywhere, but I'm going to smell good for me. Welcome, Five. Great to see you. So, again, this was Sugared Violet, Pink Palmetto, and Cotton Candy. Now, this just is like it's called Magnetic Sugar. Y'all, I'm really digging this. Actually, let's do a little spritz here. It's just such a clean, and then it rounds out with sweet. So I highly recommend this non-sponsored. So none of this is sponsored tonight, so let's get into it. But they do have body sprays. Like I said, I got this for Christmas, but if you're balling on a budget, the body sprays are just as good. All right. So now I can throw the box away. I saved the box. You'll see in a minute. It's a bad habit. Okay, y'all, let's do Glam Light. We got 2 Glam Lights here. So, speaking of packaging, I always save the packaging to show y'all. Plus, I thought these are great to keep them in. So, this is the Glam Light Hershey Kiss Dark Special Dark. So, there's different ones of these, obviously. These are really great little travel palettes. So, yeah, check this out. They're really good and sturdy, and I love the little hiss thing here. Isn't that neat? But what I like about these is, and 5, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a recap after this. So I appreciate all the gentlemen popping in. So if you get bored or need a minute to get you a beverage, we're going to do a recap after this. So I don't want to bore you with the makeup stuff. But the reason why I like these for travel is they do have a mirror. And then they're just really good and sturdy. So this is the Special Dark. And this is the purple one. Now, what I like about this is I like that it's kind of like a duochrome. See how that shifts? Now, we're not going to swatch every single one of these, but see how that kind of shifts? I like Glamlight. It's been years since I've got anything from Glamlight, but look at this. Isn't that wild? Sorry, y'all. But look at my fingers still. I really like Glamlight. If you're on a budget, Glamlight is great. Like I said, it's been years since I've got anything because, like I said, the collector is trying to be the selector. But I think it's reasonable. There's always sales. And I have a couple Glamlight palettes. Like I said, this is just part 1. So, highly recommend, at least, I don't know, like I said, I haven't had it in a while, but all the formulas of the palettes that I've showed, well, I'm going to show, are great. So, there's that. So, that's the Glamlight Special Dark. Yes, I am, like, this is my new thing. I love this 5. Have you guys had this? This is the Utz Pub Mix. Probably not the best thing on my teeth, but this has been my jam lately. I absolutely love this, you guys. It's got a little bit of everything. So a little couple bites here and there. I just love this. I love the canister. It stays good and fresh. That's kind of like my secret beside the bed. It is awesome. I got that at Walmart and Meijer before. Okay, y'all, moving on to the next one. So this is just the Hershey's Kisses Glamlight Milk Chocolate one. Yeah, I am obsessed. I think that's my second one in like 3 weeks. Okay, y'all, check that out. Same thing as the other one, and this is fabric. Yeah, this is a really good sturdy travel palette. I like that it's got the mirror. I got the foam, or the plastic over it, but this is great, y'all. These are just so, look at that. These are just so buttery smooth. Look at that. So you can do a lot just with this little palette. Get you a nude like under. I'll show you tonight what we're going to do next, what I'm wearing. But look at that. I mean, they're just so, look at that. I mean, they're just so buttery smooth. So this is a great palette. Like I said, get you a little nude, put with this. That's the only thing that, I guess you could do a smoky look. That's the only thing that I wish this had was like a lighter nude as a base coat. But other than that, great travel palette. Highly recommend. Okay. I got a little wet wipe over here if you see. Okay, y'all, moving right along. So tonight I am wearing, now, like I said, I know some of these brands, people like them, some people don't. We're here for the makeup. You know, a lot of these palettes I've had forever. Some of them were gifts, so, you know, I know some people are going to like these people, some people don't. Makeup is makeup. It's part of my collection. We're going to leave the politics out of it and all the drama. So, what I'm wearing tonight is, I'm wearing the Jaclyn Hill. This is the Luxe Legacy palette. Now, Jaclyn Hill did close her brand down, so you might be able to catch these at TJ Maxx. I've seen some of the Jaclyn products floating around, and I do have backups of, I don't know what it must be. Is it down here? Okay, yeah. So I do have backups of some things before she closed. This is the brightening powder. I absolutely love this. Yeah, it's just I know a lot of people are live, y'all, so I kind of had to get in where I fit in. I was kind of waiting around and I was like, you know what, let me just do it and people can always watch the replay. Yeah, so some of this stuff is lurking at TJ Maxx. I know that some people like Jacqueline, some people don't, but like I said, we're gonna leave the politics, the drama out of it, and talk about the makeup here. Hold on, y'all. I got this little, these are really good. These little Tupperware things for your makeup. I love these. I love these. We're not doing declutter yet. We're just going to kind of go through the collection and then we're going to kind of go from there. Yeah, tonight's not going to be a declutter. I really collect the eyeshadow palettes. So down the road, once we get to like mascaras, eyeliner, lip liner, things like that, then we'll kind of bust into the declutter. Yeah, tonight's just kind of like honestly, you guys, I'm kind of like looking at my collection too now that I'm starting to get organized. So there we go. So again, this is Luxe Legacy. I think there's two versions of this. This is the palette she did with her mother. This is just a great all-around go-to palette. So it doesn't have a mirror, but I'm cool with that. This is what I'm wearing tonight. This is just a really good go-to palette. So I'm using I'm using honey. I use Painty Butter. I use some of Rachy, and then I did Tootsie up here, this green, like a top line. See the line right there? And then I did Family AF is like a little bit of shimmer. So this is what I'm wearing tonight. I highly recommend. If you see this, Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx, this is a good go-to if you can get your hands on this. Yeah, it's just a good everyday, straight up, blends well. So, speaking of, this is the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals. This was one of hers with Morphe. This is a good go-to. Now, there's a couple different ones of these, but I just like the neutral one. So these two really make a good team together. This Luxe Legacy and this really make a great combination. And I'll show you why. So between these two, so here's the packaging. And again, it's Divine Neutrals. You don't, Lisa? Oh, Lisa, you're in for quite a ride. So it's got a mirror, but yeah, check this out. This goes really well with what I just showed you. Or this one itself. And again, guys, these are just really, they're just great. I mean, there's just so much you can do with this. So, highly recommend again, if you see them at your TJ Maxx, your Marshalls. Again, none of this is sponsored, but these are just reasonable, everyday go-to. And then you can also, say you got an event, a wedding, something, you've got your shimmers down here, or date night, whatever you want to do. You've got it to kind of spruce it up. You could do a day look, you can do a night look, or like I said, if you've got, some kind of function or some kind of an event to go to. So, highly recommend that as well. Let me open this up, y'all. I do have I've got some paper towels for us. I've got a pile started over here. I've just got these little cheap antibacterial wipes. So, okay, y'all. Let's move right along. Guys, I just feel like I'm me again. Like, I just feel so much better, you guys. I was so just down and out. I hadn't worn makeup. I hadn't played with my makeup. And it's like, I've got the spirit back. I just feel good. And I just feel I'm starting to feel like me again. And I cannot express, guys, how your mental health is just so. Do not let yourself slip into. It just feels so good just to get my stuff out. Like, I wasn't even looking at my stuff. I wasn't even playing with my stuff. Like, if you're new to my channel and come across this, I lost my mother, lost my dog, a lot of things before that, friends, family members, just a lot of grief all at once. And so it just feels good to be like, okay, I'm excited again. I'm back in it. I'm interested. It feels good just to, play around in some makeup like the old days, you know? Okay, y'all, let's move right along. Let me take a swiggle here. Yeah, I really just feel like, okay, I'm back. I'm coming together. I'm still a work in progress, but I'm feeling like me again. We're back, baby. Watch out. Okay, y'all, here we go. Speaking of glam light, so if you get bored and want to go further in depth, some of these palettes I have reviewed in more, you know, swatching, talking about them more in full length throughout my channel. And I'm pretty sure we reviewed this one. So this is the Glam Light Kellogg's Frosted Flakes palette. And this is a good diverse, this has a mirror. Isn't this really cute? Her designs are just really nice. So this is a really good summer palette. Sorry, y'all, I had my phone plugged in and it wasn't charging, so that's kind of where we're at now. But yeah, look at this blue here. It's called Sweet Spark. It's got so much different, like, look at that. Is that not amazing? So you got Sweet Spark right here, and it's got so much different, like, it's really hard to see on camera. Like I said, I did a more in-depth review, and let's go Milk right here. I'm pretty sure we reviewed this in full. I mean, look at those. Those are just stunning. Look at that. Sorry, y'all, I need to... But yeah, I mean, they're just so, the catch on those, I know the white's having a hard time picking up with the camera, but yeah, so check out, like I said, we did a more in-depth, but this is a really good summer palette. You got your blues. These corals are really nice for summer. I mean, look at that. And like I said, you know, some of us are getting older. Just use a little bit topper. I look back at some of the looks I used to do, and I'm like, wow, that was horrible. But it's okay to have fun with makeup. You know, there's a ton of looks that I look back, and I'm like, God, I'm so embarrassed. But you know what? Learn. Play with your makeup. You know, you know, have fun with it. You know, makeup doesn't have an age. You know, like I said, there's some looks that I'm like, oh my God, I would never go out the house like that. But hey, it's like, you know, you're having fun, you're learning, and you can say, okay, I don't like that look. I like this look. Blue, you know, isn't for me. There's a look that I went back on and I was like, yikes, I had blue. I was like, that is horrible, but what can you do? Okay, moving right along. Sorry, y'all, I love to put different things in here. Like, I use these, like, I've got some nails, some nail glue, a little file. I use these for a lot of different things. Craft stuff, sequins and stuff. So, these are great for little storage containers. Okay, moving right along. Now, we did do a full depth review in this, like I said. So, this is the Laura Lee and Lunar Beauty. Lunar Beauty is Manny MUA. So, this is the Full Fantasy Blush Cheek Palette. So, yeah, if you want a more in-depth, I know we did definitely. Some of these we didn't review. Like, I opened up one and I was like, wow, did I not review that? I'm like, yeah, there's two coming up. I'll show you. I'm like, wow, I haven't even touched them. So, I like this. It kind of bumps up. These are great for travel. I've taken these places. They're good and sturdy, and I really like them. So, I really like, I'm not a fan of Laura Lee, but I do like Manny MUA Lunar Beauty. That's his brand, the Lunar Beauty here. I do really enjoy his palettes. So, it's got a nice mirror. And then again, this is so you've got some highlight, you've got a bronzer here, and you've got some blush. And then this is I got this in a bundle. I got this in a bundle a while back. So like I said, if you want a more in-depth, if you're into makeup, y'all, there's all kinds of hauls and makeup. I have videos that I haven't even uploaded. Like, before I got depressed and my mom passed, I have videos that I'm like, I need to clear out my storage. So this is the Full Fantasy palette. Again, the collaboration with Manny MUA and Laura Lee. So there's that. It's got a really nice mirror. This here is called Aries. This is stunning, y'all. Look at the shift on that. Is that not amazing? This is a great, it's a really good, like, you've got this too that hits. It kind of hits from a pink to like a gold to a rose gold. This is a good palette too for, I really like this Social over here. It's kind of a maroon. We've used it before. I really like it. Isn't that sharp? It's like a metallic maroon. So we did Social, Aries, and we did, what is that called? Full Fam. So yeah, I don't know if you can see, but it really, the light doesn't do it justice. But these are great. Really good. Highly recommend. Like I said, I have nothing but good things to say about Manny MUA's products. Now, the Laura Lee ones, oh man, y'all, I just really just shoved my finger right in it. And yes, I do use all this stuff. I just like to keep it in pristine. I put the things over it in case I travel, or I do use this stuff, believe it or not. I like to keep it nice as I dig my finger into it. I like to keep everything nice and clean, and like I said, I use it, but I also, you know, collect it. So, there's that. Yeah, I do use this stuff, believe it or not. I know it looks like Kaya, like... Now, there are some that I'm going to show you coming up that I'm like, wait a minute, when did we get that? Was I supposed to review it? Yeah, there's a couple coming up. I'm like, where did you come from? All right, y'all, let me get another thing. And these are just little, like, they come in a bunch of packs, so... I was like, what can I use? The laundry's done. I was like, let me just go ahead and... You know, these are just some cheapies. Okay, y'all, moving right along. Take a little swiggy swig here. If you see me shaking it up, like I said, check out the community tab. I got like a butterbeer cold foam on the top of it. It's kind of foamed down at this point, but... Okay, this is a throwback. I forgot I had this. Who remembers the Naked palettes from Urban Decay? So this is the Naked Heavy Metal. I love the packaging on this. This is a good travel palette too. It's good and sturdy and sleek. Yeah, super cute packaging. So, it's got a really nice mirror. It's got a brush. I don't typically use these brushes. I do keep them for in a pinch. Say I was traveling or something, so that's why I do keep them in there. And I appreciate the brushes in a pinch. I don't, you know, really use them, like I said, but it's cool to have them. It's cool to have them. So, this is basically what it says. It's a lot of metallics. It's a lot of metal looking. Thank you, Jelly. Thank you. Always appreciate it. Thank you, Jelly. I really, you guys, appreciate that because your girl was down and out for a while, and I'm really trying to get myself, you know, back feeling my mental health good. So you guys don't understand just being here and the comments. It's been a while since somebody told me that I look nice. So thank you. I really do appreciate that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. It's been a minute. Your girl's trying to pick herself up here. Now, the only thing I will say is I just did this here. It's called Power Chords. This does have some fallout, if you can tell here in the bottom. This does have some fallout, and if you can see my fingers, some of the chunks, but if you see this at your TJ Maxx or Marshall's on a discount, this is good to have if you don't have some metals, some chromes, some shimmers. Would I buy this at full price? No, but this is just good to have. And the light, like I said, y'all, I'm working with that stick light I showed you guys the other night because it's so dark in here. But it is nice. They are nice. But like I see, if you can see this little bit of chunkage here. But other than that, I mean, they're great. But, you know, it's not as hard-hitting as your Glam Light, some of your other stuff. So it's a great palette to have, and I'm, you know, appreciative to have it. But would I go repurchase this again? Probably not. If I didn't have other metals and I didn't have other shimmers in my collection, this would be a good go-to. But like I said, as much as I do have, I probably wouldn't repurchase this. So it is nice, though, to have. And if anybody remembers the old Naked palettes, the Naked palette was one of my first high-end palettes that I ever had. So they definitely are nostalgic. But yeah, not the Glam Light. If you're going to go with that, I would go Glam Light before that. If you're really looking for that payoff, you're really looking for that buttery, that shimmery, and for the budget and the price, I would go with the Glam Light myself. Yeah, I would do the Glam Light. There's many other palettes that I have that, but like I said, I'm going to keep it as part of my collection because we all know the Naked palettes. I don't know how old you are, but like I said, at least for me, you know, a higher end back in that time, back when I was younger, the Naked OG palette was an OG. Okay, y'all, moving right along. So, I did do a full review. I cannot stand this thing here. It's like they put the metal thing. Actually, I don't know. I've been trying to peel this off forever, and look. This is like the metal thing they have. Okay, y'all, so this is Stigma, or is it Sigma? Excuse me, Sigma Beauty, and this is the Alice in Wonderland Disney palette. So this is another one that I think we did do an in-depth review with this as well. This is a good palette, you guys. It is cardboard, but that's okay. It's sturdy. Only thing I will say, it's a little loose. Like, you got to be careful. But see how what I mean? Like, kind of like how it's moving. It's got the colors on the back here. So, this is really good. It's got the little platelet here that's got Alice in Wonderland. So, this is really good. It's got Disney. And what Sigma is mainly known for is their brushes. So, I am glad to have this brush. I think have I used this one? Maybe the end. But, here's the brush it comes with. A really nice multi-chrome brush. I prefer the skinnier shaders myself. We'll get to brushes when we get to that. Brushes are your girl's weakness. I have a lot of brushes, but I am appreciative that it's a really good brush. It's good and sturdy, and it's dense. So here, like I said, it's got a mirror. So here's the palette itself. Now, this isn't a palette that I would run and go buy because the color story is, you know, you do have, you know, some nudes around here. But this I really got for, like, the toppers. Like, this Tea Party up here. Like I said, y'all, this light is not doing it justice. But this Tea Party is, like, a gold. Let's swatch it here, y'all. Oh, that wasn't the best. This Tea Party has so much, like, dimension to it. I don't know if you can tell. See how it's different colors? But yeah, so these are really good shimmers. Another one that I like up here we've used is Alice. Alice is like a really like a muted. It looks different in the palette than on your finger or on your eyes. Alice is like a chromed out gray light blue. Alice is this one here. Alice is very unique. Yeah, Alice is like almost like a, yeah, I don't know if you can tell here. It's not really doing it justice. That's a horrible swatch, y'all. But this is a good palette if you do come across it. Like I said, I really just got it for the shimmers. And Sigma's really just known for their brushes. But there's, like I said, this here is just stunning. And that was Tea Party. Yeah, I really like, there's some shades in here that I do like. Hope everybody's doing good. Welcome everybody here. Welcome everybody chilling in the background in the replay. So my thing for the new year is no more eyeshadow palettes. Like I said, this is just part one. And yeah. And like I said, I don't do these videos to brag, to boast, to look what I got, look how much stuff I got. I like to see people's collection. So that's kind of why I personally like to watch these videos. I like to see, you know, what other people are collecting, what they've got in their collection. So please don't ever think that I'm doing this to brag, to boast, like, oh, look at all this stuff I got. I just like to see what people collect. Okay, this is a really good palette, believe it or not. So this is the, I think this is the only thing I have of this brand, if I'm not mistaken. This is the KVD Beauty. This is the Moon Garden Vegan Eyeshadow Palette. So the design on the artwork of this is really pretty. Yeah, this is a really cool, so it's got the shades on the back. This is a good travel compact palette as well. Again, it's called Moon Garden. And this was, I think, after it went from Kat Von D Beauty to KVD. Y'all, this is a really nice little sleek. Again, I really like the artwork is beautiful on this. And it's really just a nice little compact palette. So here we go. So this blue down here is called Dark Tide. And then you've got, what's this? Astral Oasis. And then this moon phase beside it, this purple. Let's do this purple. These are really good and buttery. And then let's do Moon Grove up here, this kind of goldish green. It's like a really nice green. Look at that. It's like a gold kind of, and then let's do Dark Side, or no, let's do this red. We've done some blues. Something Velptine Aurora. Yeah, let's do this red. Look at that red. It's stunning. So, highly recommend if you need, again, some shimmers. These are just really buttery, and man, the payoff on this is great. Only thing, like I said, it's like you could do some corals, you could do some orange. You know, you really, this is just good to have with something else because you need your base things. I like a good tan or a good nude underneath when I start. But this red is just stunning. So yeah, if you come across this and you're looking, you know, just for some really unique shimmers, these are really great. Really great. Yeah, that red, y'all, is just, I don't think I have a lot in my collection that, that red is very unique. That red is just really unique, you guys. Okay, moving right along here. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you. Great to see everyone. I'm coming, y'all. We got some other stuff, so I'm trying to get some I haven't put in packages, but I'm trying to. We are going to do a quick recap, weekend recap after this. So that's why I'm kind of putting some away. I haven't put everything away. Okay, next is an indie brand. Next is a indie brand. So, oh my goodness, I forget what this is called. Okay. We did a full in-depth review of this too. I hope I uploaded. This is Adept Cosmetics. A-D-E-P-T Cosmetics. Yes. And like I said, Hannah, I need to get back into the swing of getting back into the swing, if that makes sense. So this is an indie brand, and this palette here is the Plain Jane Remastered. This is the Plain Jane Remastered by Adept Cosmetics. So what I've gathered from this brand, at least that I've seen, and why I purchased this is wonderful. Look at these multi-chromes. Look at this. So we're down here at the bottom. It's hard for me to see. I want to say this is Echo down here, y'all. Look at these. The light does not do these justice in any. Look at that. It hits like a pearl pink. Yeah, look at that. Is that not? It hits a pearl pink. It hits green. It like hits purple. These, the reason why I got this is the multi-chromes. Look at that. It almost looks like my finger is glowing. So this up here is called, yo, these are really hard for me to see. I think it says, oh, excuse me, they're AC15. So my bad, y'all. This was AC 110 down here. So we're going to go right up here to AC 15. Look at that. So we're right here, my ring finger. And I think I accidentally dug into it, but look at that. It's like a pink, orange, like, see what I mean? It's like a pink, we're right here on my ring finger. It's like a pink, orange, green shift. See what I mean? This light is not, see that? Look at that. My middle finger is still, but these are phenomenal. And like I said, we did do an in-depth, but the light really does not do this justice. So this brand is really good, in my opinion, for their multi-duochromes, shimmers. That's what I found this brand for. I was looking at the time, I remember, for something in my collection. As you guys know, I went through phases of, okay, I'm looking for this, looking for that. So that is what I figured out. This was one of the known for their multi-chromes and things like that. So again, Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane Remastered. And there are a different couple palettes. I want to say we might have another one of these, I think. Don't quote me. I think I have 2 palettes from that brand, I want to say. Okay, guys, so this is just an old throwback. I think most of you guys, I know some people are a fan of Morphe, some people weren't. Again, like I said, minus the chaos, minus the drama, the whole thing. But if you see and you have somebody that's starting out with makeup, or you want to, I know that these are still running around TJ Maxx, the Morphe palettes. This is the 35T Sweet Tea. Now, this is a good starter palette. This is a good if you're balling on a budget. These Morphe palettes really give you a good variety for your money's worth. So that's what, yeah, so 35T Sweetest Tea. Yes, Sweetest Tea. So, you can still catch these running around your Marshalls, your TJ Maxx, things like that. And they're really just good, sturdy. This is something that I can travel with. And it's not going to be, you know, a more expensive palette that, you know, I'm going to be sad if something happens to it. Where this, I'm going to feel salty. This is okay. It's replaceable. But the thing with something like this is you have such a variety, you know, if you want to do different things. Like, look at this. You've really, now there's no mirror, but I'm cool with it, like I said. So these just really, they're good quality. You know, look at that. That's got even like a little shift to it. But there's such a variety. So you've got some nudes up here. You've got some corals. You've got some purples. You've got some browns down and around here. But they're good bang for your buck, like I said. If you got somebody that's starting in makeup, you've got, you know, a teenage daughter, niece, you know, a granddaughter or somebody, you know, these are something that you're not going to have $1 million in if they're just kind of learning makeup or just kind of playing around with it. That, you know, they have a variety and you're not, you know, spending $1 trillion. So that's what I really appreciate about these. And then, like I said, if you take them traveling, your luggage gets lost, it gets broken. you're not out something big where, you know, one of these palettes, you know, is a little more expensive. So same with this. This is another Morphe. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, volume number 2. Now, I heard the Jaclyn Hill, the original palette, I heard it was amazing. I never got my hands on that, unfortunately. They did do a remake of it. Some people say it wasn't as good as the original OG, but I use this too. This is another good go-to of, you know, just bang for your buck variety. Yeah, this is something that you have that variety. If you're traveling, going to a friend's house, going on a date weekend or something to a cabin or, you know, a hotel or something, you could just pack one thing instead of, you know, saying, I'm going to pack this, I'm going to pack this, you know, and tote all these. You have one big thing that, you know, you can just take. So here's this again, Jaclyn Hill palette, volume number 2 with Morphe. So I really love the color story in this. So you could do something like this, and then you could mix the sweetest tea with it, and then you got, you know, mix and match. You got everything. So this is a really good variety too. This, you've got some purples, you've got, you know, some orange corals, you got this yellow, you've got your 2 base colors here. This I'm in it is really nice here. Look at that. It'd be a good crease or top of the, in the corner of your eye or up above your brow bone. But like I said, these are, you know, something that you're not going to have $1 million in, and they still have the payoff, and you've got that big variety for your buck. Okay, moving right along here. Yeah, I know that some people, now, are they the best quality? No, but they do what they need to do, and like I said, you're getting, what did these used to run originally? I think these are, what, $30, $35, and look how many shades you get. That's really what, you know, back in the day, Morphe was known for. It wasn't the most expensive. You were getting, you know, bang for your buck. You know, you do the math on something, this breaks down to, you know, how much ever per pan, where, you know, something like your, you know, again, this is an indie brand, it's more expensive, but, you know, you're getting more bang for your buck. You can do more with this. That's kind of what Morphe, in my opinion, was known for, the variety and the bang for your buck. Okay, this is the one that I was like, wait a minute, where did she come from? Now, we're going to have to play around with this on a rainy day, because you know what, Brooke, that is one thing I have never really, I have the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but as far as Tarte, I never really got into Tarte, to be honest with you. I do have some of their Shape Tape Concealers, but as far as eyeshadows, I don't know. It's not that I ever, like, had beef with it, or I don't know. I just never really, I don't know if I missed the Tarte wagon or nothing really caught my eye, but I never really, you know, got into Tarte like that. Okay, y'all, these are 2 things that when I got out my collection, my little thing here, because I'm still getting organized, like I said, I was like, when did I get these, and did I plan on doing a video? Did I upload it? I don't think I did, because they don't look like they've really been played with. So this is another indie brand. This is another brand like the Adept Cosmetics that's a smaller indie brand. So this is called Sherry Glow Cosmetics. Yeah, this is called Sherry Glow Cosmetics. So this one is called Pretty AF. It says 10 color matte eyeshadows and glitter palette. Now, I think the method to my madness was, I know a lot of you that have been with me for a while, I used to dress up for Halloween. I used to do skits. We used to dress up for different things. Because I'm looking at this, and when I got it out, I was like, what was my plan with this? So I think my plan with this was Halloween, holiday, different unique looks. So here's this. And like I said, we'll have to play around with this on a rainy day because I don't think that I truly have. But look at this down here. Is she not stunning? Let's swatch this. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, look at that. Bling, bling every time I see you. Look at her, baby. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, y'all. Look at that. So these are not like a loose glitter. These are like a glitter. Let's go ahead and swatch this. Wow, these are awesome. Look at that. That is stunning, y'all. We're on the top right here. Look at that. So not a lot left on my finger, and that's cool. Like, it's not falling out. So these are like a glitter, like kind of like a cream glitter shadow. Like, look at that. That went off smoothly. No fallout. I mean, look, that is really nice. Okay, single mom, you're more than welcome to hang out, but we're talking about makeup. I don't know where racial stuff came into play, but I think everybody that's been here with me, I'm not into the racist stuff. We don't do that around here. Everybody's welcome on my channel. I've always said this. It's in my description. No homophobic, no racial slurs, and I think everybody pretty much knows that's how I roll. Those are my two biggest qualms around here. No racism, no homophobic, no coming at anybody for their different beliefs, and that's how we rock over here. So you're more than welcome to hang out. Okay. I don't do racial things. So if you want to chill with us, we're talking, shooting the shit about makeup, you're more than welcome, but I don't do any type of racism. It's literally in my description. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. So this is stunning. So like I said, this is Sherry Glow Cosmetics Pretty AF. And I like it. They got their ingredients in the back. And again, this is just a small little indie brand. I like a little bit of everything. It doesn't have to be a fancy brand. Some of the indie brands anymore, honestly, knock some of the big brands out the water, in my opinion. Some of the big brands, it got to the point, you guys know I used to like ColourPop. I cannot, like, we have some ColourPop eyeliners that I need to declutter, and I think y'all remember, like, when I got them, I always said they made my eye itch, so I do need to declutter those when we get to that point, but ColourPop just started banging out stuff, so some of these little indie brands, I really like that they put, you know, the care and the, you know, the uniqueness, and they're not just pumping stuff out to pump stuff out. Y'all, let me go. Man, that is just stunning, y'all. Is that not awesome? And look at that. Like, it's literally like staying on. Yeah, let me wipe this before I end up. Y'all, when we did that Christmas, or the after Christmas haul, you guys, I had glitter I'm still sweeping up glitter. Yeah, I am still sweeping up parts of glitter. Yeah, look at that, y'all. That, I mean, I obviously have glitter from other stuff, but that really just wiped off really nice. Okay, so this is another thing from the Sherry Glow Cosmetics. And again, I appreciate the ingredients on the back. So this one has a sleeve. So this is the Sherry Glow Cosmetics Wizarding World Chameleon Multi-Chrome Eyeshadow Palettes, 10 colors. So it's got a little sleeve here. So the method to my madness, I think, again, was Halloween, Christmas. If you go back, we did a lot of different looks. Same thing as on the sheath here. So this is just a multi-chrome glitter palette of, again, I'm thinking the method of my madness was like One year we dressed up as Beetlejuice, so check these out. Now, again, the light doesn't do it justice. So they're like a duo. Let's do up here. But the light is not doing these justice. Yeah, the light is really, let's go up here, up top here. Let's go up top here. So again, it's the same formula as the silver. Wow, you guys, that's stunning. Look at that. Yeah, PetSmart. These are dope. Like I said, I think the method too was Halloween, Christmas, skits, things like that. But look at this. Is that not? And again, like I said, it's like a cream. It's not just a loose glitter. It's not like a matte, or excuse me, like an eyeshadow formula. You can feel there's something to make them stick on there. Look at this. I am impressed with these. Let's do a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Hold on a second. Yeah, these are dope. Yeah, see how they have like the, look at, like, you guys, it's coming off darker to you guys, but in person, it's like a beautiful violet. It's like a beautiful blue. Can you guys see that? It's like hitting purple. Depending which way the light, look at that. Isn't that cool? So let's do, these are really neat. Like I said, like I got this out and I was like, where did you come from? Look, they wipe right off really easy. Yeah, let's do, look at that. They come right off and they're not making a mess. Okay, let's do one more. Yeah, these are really neat. Yes, absolutely, Ballet. Okay, watch from the second bottom. Okay, show me which one, because your left and my left is gonna, are we going here? So this is my left. It's everything is flipped for me, you guys. So are we doing here? Are we doing blue or are we doing pink? This blue or this pink? Or we can do both if you would like. I've never played with this yet. How about we do both? Because I've never played with this yet. So the blue, okay, here's the blue right here. We're going bottom. Y'all, these are really neat. Wow, that is hard hitting. Look at that. Here we go. Let's do. That is gorgeous. This would be a beautiful 4th of July. Look at that. Comes right off. Look, stays on the skin. Like, look at that. Really blendable, but they stay in place. Let's do that pink too, right quick. Yeah, these would be great for the holidays. Now, obviously, this isn't, you know, an everyday, but a little bit of topper, this blue for the 4th of July. Yeah, you could just do a tiny bit on the lid. Okay, let's do this really cool. It's like a, guys, these are so wild. On camera and in person, it's really just not doing them justice. Look at this. It's like they hit so different. Like I know this here, the blue that Ballet just asked to see, it just looks blue on camera, but there's so much dimension to it in person. Let's do this really cool pink down here. Let's do right here. Look at that. Woo-wee-oh. We got some green. That is gorgeous. Wow. Ooh, look at that, y'all. That is stunning. And look at that. It's like, I'm just completely like, they're really nice. But look at that, how I'm just, look at that. Like, I am literally like, look at that. So, I'm impressed with these. We'll have to play around with these. Like I said, I literally, you know, I'm not going to keep getting into everything, but I just really lost my passion for everything. And, you know, I'm really getting back in the swing of things and feeling good again. So we'll have to just play around with that one day when I don't have eyeshadow already on. I mean, look, it's wiping off really good. You know, of course, I've put a million different things on, but I mean, look at that. I still have a little residue, but I mean, they're wiping off good. Well, I'm wiping it back on there, but so again, Sherry Glow Cosmetics, again, non-sponsored. Shout out to Sherry Glow. These are really cool. These are really neat. I don't know how I figured this out. I don't know where I seen this at. I'm sure watching YouTube or something somewhere. Yeah, we could totally do something like that. But yeah, I think these would be amazing for Halloween, or, you know, like I said, a little bit of that blue for the 4th of July. But, I mean, look at that. I don't have it all over me. Look at the bed. Like, I really do not have, like, it's not all over me. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. Again, I have no idea how I came across it, but shout out to Sherry Glow Cosmetics, y'all. These are really neat. Really neat. Okay, y'all, let's put this back. Put the little sheath. But yeah, look at this, guys. It's not a mess. I mean, I made a little bit of mess up top here, but I did that, you know, moving around. But look at that. It's not a mess. Let's wipe that up. Yeah, it's not a mess. So now I'm making a mess. But yeah, I really like this. I was like, pulled it out, and I was like, what am I gonna do with that? Like, you know how your style changes and you get things and you're like, what was I thinking? But now that we've swatched this, I really think, you know, I think that, you know, once I get back in the swing of things, that this will definitely be useful. Again, like I said, not an everyday, you know, great, like I said, the holidays or something, but I'm impressed with this brand. So I think that is, let me double check down here. Yeah, so I think that's it for part 1. So we have a really cool suitcase type deal vanity situation on wheels. And that's where a lot of my collection things, the bigger ones you guys have seen throughout the years, that's where they're at. I think there's a couple glam lights added in, but we've got a ways to go. There might even be part 3 of the eyeshadows because I'm still getting my stuff organized. I'm still siphoning through things and what's this, what's that, boxes, things like that. I still got a lot to do. So, you know, maybe there might even be a part 3 with the eyeshadows. I don't know. But next, we're going to do the suitcase. It's really cool in itself. It's like a suitcase vanity on wheels, like a little travel makeup station. So that'll be a cool video in itself. And then we'll do those palettes. And like I said, I use these little train cases. Yeah, we're going to do eyeliners, mascaras. So what we're going to do is, I'll show you right quick, is I go... Shout out to these fans, too. I use these fans to use my setting spray and stuff. But, so what I do is, I went through a phase, and I'll show you guys, of train cases. So, one day, I might pick this train case. These Impressions Vanity train cases are amazing. They're sturdy and they're great. So, I am embarrassed to tell you how many train cases that I have. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think we have 5 or 6 train cases, plus the big rollaway suitcase, plus I have a plastic one of these that has 4 drawers. So, we have got a lot to get into when I say a lot. Welcome, everybody. And like I said, really the palettes, the blushes, things like that, I do collect the palettes. We'll probably declutter some eyeliners. We'll probably declutter Really, there's a couple eyeliners and mascaras, but other than that, I keep my makeup clean. I keep it sanitized. You see, I wipe it down even after I use it. I always do it clean hands. I use a clean sponge. I use a clean beauty blender. I use a clean brush. So I really try to keep my collection in pristine condition because I do collect this stuff. Now, I do know that things have a shelf life, lip liners, mascara, you know, I don't collect like things like that. You don't want to collect eyeliners, you don't want to collect lip liners, you don't want to collect lip gloss, lipsticks, things like that. But the palettes, I do, like I said, you see, I use clean hands. I use antibacterial wipes, go in with a clean brush, and if there's a palette, you know, you've had for a while, you can always use alcohol spray. Say you've got a family member, a friend that you're close with and you know that's clean, unlike some people we know and watch, and you can always spray and wipe them down with alcohol. So just be careful, you know, like I said, but you don't want to collect things like eyeliners. You want to clean your brushes, you want to clean your sponges, you want to clean all that stuff, and then you could have your collection. And, you know, if somebody, you know, I always have, if a friend wants to use something, you know, say a friend would come over, I give them a clean brush. If they want to use some foundation, I'll squirt it on something for them, or foundation, I'll put it on something. So if you got a friend, a family member, give them a clean brush and they should be good to go, you know, and then you can always spray it off with alcohol or wipe it down, whatever you need to do. But just be careful out there, you know. Always keep your makeup, we know this, in cool places, not hot. You don't want it to get hot, cold. You know, things like creams and stuff, they do have a shelf life, so just be careful with that. Again, you know your date, you know the times you've got these things. Really, another thing that I do is I don't open a mascara. I've always got a backup one, but I don't open my new mascara until I'm finished with the old one, and then that way you can kind of keep an eye on things. So there will be a couple things that we will get rid of along the way that if I'm, you know, maybe iffy about, oh, here's the card I kept. So yeah, it's Sherry Glow Cosmetics. So yeah, I must have keep, it says Face, Body, and Soul. Diamond highlighters, diamond glitter lip gloss, lip potions, eyeshadow palettes, skincare, hair care, pigments, lashes, neon liners, press-on nails, and accessories. So I must have wanted to show y'all that. So, all right, my loves. Well, another thing I do use is these boxes that the candy comes in. I sanitize the Sugarfina boxes, and they make really good sponge holders. So, reduce, reuse, and recycle. So, there's that. Yeah, you know the little Sugarfina candies I used to get to review for us? That's what this box is. I do use these too, the free sample things. I use these to put things in as well. I reuse these. I wash them out. Like, say you have a friend coming over. Say you have a friend, you can pop them a little foundation or liquid blush, and they're not using your sponges or something. So I do like to hold on to these. Or if you travel, these are good to take too. Yeah, these little boxes are great. I wish I would have kept some of my other ones because I got a new beauty blender sitting over there that, yeah, I kind of wish I had another one of these. Yeah, I literally have one drying over there. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope that this kind of gives you some ideas, or just kind of, like I said, to see other people collection, what they got, what they're using. And like I said, please don't ever think when I show you this collection, it's to brag, it's to boast. I literally am blessed for everything I have. I am grateful for everything I have. And like I said, now that I've really cracked my collection open, it's time to use the things I have. And believe you me when I say we do not need any more, we do not need any more. I put some stuff aside that I have doubles of, or I have backups of that are brand new that I'm probably going to sell because I can only use so much. Once I really pulled back the curtains and looked into my collection, I'm like, okay, no. So once we get through this, you know, I probably will put some things aside, you know, because now I really can see what I've got, and yeah, it's pretty intense. So like I said, guys, if you checked out my last after Christmas haul video, I have went through a lot, and like I said, is having a million trillion palettes healthy? No. Do I need all this? No. And that's what I'm working on for the new year, and here in and here out, is use the things I have. I don't need the freshest, newest, coolest. I think I have a little bit of everything covered, and I don't need anything else. I don't need the coolest, newest, whatever's out. You know, I got plenty. I think I got enough makeup to make up us all. I think I got enough makeup to make up probably everyone in the chat, and then everyone, and then some. So, I do like these bags, though. I've used these for travel before, and I'll just stick little things inside of them. So I do like these little bags. I think they're handy. And I like to say, you know, it would break or something. It's contained. So I do like these little sacks. So I do think I'm going to keep these bags still. I know it. I don't know, y'all. I'm just weird. Yeah, me neither. But I do, like I said, PetSmart, I do have some doubles of things when I really hit it hard that I want to look at and say, okay, you know, good God, like, it's this year is the year and then some of using everything. I've even set a couple things aside that I found along the way, and I'm like, okay, you don't need a million things of skincare. You just truly don't. You got to think too, you know, skincare, lip gloss, lipstick, everything has a shelf life, and you got to be careful with stuff like that. Okay, my loves, well, I am going to pee in the kitchen right quick. That's our saying if you're new. I don't really pee in my kitchen. It's an inside joke on the channel, so please, if you come across this looking for makeup videos, it's just a joke. So, what do I have? I've got, like... So, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to use the restroom, put on some chapstick, because this matte lipstick is like, and yes, I'm going to come probably 15 minutes. I'm like, do I need more coffee? I probably do. Yes, do not wash your hands. Pee in the kitchen. Yeah, I'm going to probably refresh my drink. Oh, these are good too. I wanted to show you all this before we go. These are good if you're just really not hungry during the daytime, or like I had a dentist appointment the other day, like I was telling you guys. These are the Alani protein shakes, and this one is fruity cereal. So, yeah. I think there's cookies and cream, fruity cereal, and like a munchy one that's like caramel pretzel or something. So yeah, these are really good if you're in a pinch having some dental work done or something. Like, I have narcolepsy. I think most of you guys know that. It's hard for me to eat during the day and then come on here with you and not feel bogged down. So I might have a light snack, and then I really wait until after I stream to eat a heavier meal, if that makes sense. Like, before I came on, I had a couple of these. If you're just coming in, this has been my new go-to. This is the Utz Pretzel, or excuse me, Utz Pub Mix, and I really like this. And I just eat a couple pieces here and there, and then I'll have like something like this during the daytime. And then after I stream, or after, say, I gotta clean, or I have something to do, you know, throughout the day, I'll drink this, and then I'll eat my dinner after I have all my chores done, or whatever I need to do that day. Then I have a dinner. I may have a sandwich, I may have some vegetables, like an adult Lunchable or something like that, but it's really hard for me to, you know, eat a heavy dinner or something like that and then come on here. Yeah, just be careful, Starry. I did see where people were consuming too much of the drinks, and that's, again, consult your doctor, your nutritionalist, things like that. So just be careful, guys. I don't want to, you know, anybody to have anything, you know, stomach issues. I know that some people were drinking like 2, 3, 6 Alanis a day. That's not good for you in any shape, way, or form. So just be careful, y'all, with things like that. Same with the protein drinks, you know, anything like that. Just use, you know, at your discretion, because I don't want, you know, anybody to get sick because of me. The pub mix, I got this at Walmart, and I found it at Meijer. So it's got like some pretzel sticks, and then it's got like some cheese type things, and then it's got these rye like crisp like bagel chips, and then it's got like regular ones, and then it's got like breadsticks and like these, like, it's a little bit of everything in here. But the pretzels have like a garlicky, like, everything has a flavor, like, if it makes sense. Like, the pretzel's not just a regular pretzel, the breadstick's not just like a regular breadstick. Like, it's really hard on my teeth right now because my mouth is still healing. But everything has, like, the breadsticks, like, see, they've got like a coating on, and everything has like a seasoning on. But I highly recommend this. I think it's like $6.85. I'm gonna set that aside and eat it in a second, but I don't want my mouth, like I told you guys. I think this is like $7. It's like $6.80 something. Sometimes I find it on Meijer at $6.50 sometimes, but it's a really good, like, you can obviously refill this with another kind of snack mix and reuse this container, but it's really good. Like I said, a couple bites here, a couple bites there. It's kind of like my go-to. Like, before I got on here, my stomach was a little bit empty. I was kind of feeling like, you know, that kind of like, ooh, I need a couple bites of something. But, it's really good. Yeah, it's really good. And it's UTZ. I know my label's kind of, but, so I got this with, like, the crackers, the chips, like the popcorn aisle, like the snack aisle. So, alright, guys, I am literally, here's another thing that's banging, that good old teeth. These are new, too. These are the honey roasted M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms. These are fire. These are fire, y'all. If you like peanut M&Ms, you're going to love these. They're not too overbearing. You get a little bit of honey roasted, but these are absolutely extraordinary. Hold on and I'll show you. Yeah, they just look like a peanut M&M. I'm sorry, y'all, my mouth is still, but see how it's kind of like honey roasted, but it's not too overbearingly sweet, if that makes sense. These are good. If you like peanut M&Ms, you're going to love these. Okay, y'all. Now that I've showed you my secret snack pack down here, I'm like, no wonder why my mouth is jacked up. Okay, y'all, let me throw all this away. Not bad. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wipes. Not too bad. And like I said, if there's an eyeshadow palette, other than the Sherry Glow, I think we reviewed a lot of them more in depth on my channel. If you want to see more in-depth swatches, a lot of those palettes I've done full reviews of. So, I'm sorry, y'all. That's why I didn't want to. Root canal went good. I got a lot done on the right side. Now we got to move to the left side. Guys, don't put going to the dentist on the back burner. Like I said, I got really depressed and I just quit, like, giving a about anything. Don't do that. You will regret it, and it will catch up with you. You will be in a world of hurt because a lot of things that I let go, I created way more problems for myself. So don't put going to the dentist ever on the back burner. If you got a doctor's appointment, a dentist or something, just get it done before you make your life so much worse. Hold on, y'all, I'm sorry. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I like, each day it was getting us like, oh, my God, my dentist's appointment in 2 days. Oh, my God, my dentist's appointment one day. Oh, my God, my dentist appointment. I hyper fixate on, like, things like that. But don't make your life even worse. Like I said, just go get it done. Be done with it. I am really amazed that this tooth was salvageable. Like, I created so much more problems for myself than I should have. So, all right, y'all. Well, I hope you enjoyed this part of the collection. Again, I feel so blessed for everything I have. Did I waste a lot of money on this stuff? Absolutely. Is it excessive? It's going to be. I'm going to warn you now. Nobody in the world needs this much makeup. When we bust into this collection, even as I was organizing and getting my shit together, I was like, this is ridiculous, Kaya. Seriously, this doesn't make sense. So, again, like I said, you live, you learn, you can't, you know, you learn from it. You take that as a lesson, so that's kind of where I'm at now. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, all that's gone. Now I just need to use the things I got, and it's like, okay, be more mindful where my money's going, what it's going to, and do I need the freshest, hottest, newest? No, I don't. So that's what we're going to take from this. Going to keep continuing to use all the stuff I got, and that's where we're at with life. So I love you guys. Have a great day, great night. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for everybody lurking in the background, and thank you for the replay. And if you're new just coming across this, subscribe and join us. Man, have we got a lot to get into. So this week we will do part 2 of the eyeshadow. And like I told you, there's a little case type situation deal, vanity on wheels that goes with this. So that'll be cool too in itself. So I'll see you guys back in about 10-15 minutes. Have a great day, great night. And if you're just tuning in, I'll be back in about 10-15. And if you're going to sleep, I will see you guys later. You can always watch the replays. Have a great day, great night, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.